Hey, it's Dave from Bullpen Cycles, and today we're in Pottsville, Pennsylvania at Matto Cycle. This is an old school shop. And we're here to get something special, but it's not an old bike. It's a new bike, a brand new bike. What is it? It's a RIEJU. Yeah, RIEJU. That's how they taught me to say it. I've heard it pronounced a bunch of different ways. RIEJU, 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 RIEJU. It's Spanish. In fact, it's Spanish gas. You see, when KTM bought gas, they dumped the bikes. They only kept the name. All they wanted to do was paint KTM red. But you can still get a Spanish gas. It's a RIEJU, or a RIEJU, or a RIEJU, or whatever. But that's what we're here to get. Now, I tried to get one of these back when they were still gas, and I was waiting for them. It's called a Ranger, an MR Ranger. And it's kind of like a more simplified version of the, I guess it would have been an EC 300 or an MR 300 now, which are more of a all-out factory motocross bike. But if you want something to do a little bit more of a dual sport, or that's a little bit more tame, for a little bit more run-of-the-mill riding, you look for this Ranger. And I couldn't get one, so I got a Beta cross trainer. That's the comparable. So let's see what it's like. Oh, and look at this. Right away we got a CL360. But this, actually, that orange tank looks older. But maybe it's not. And a V45 Magna. We got an old school shop here. That's going to be like the bike that I bought. And this is Bud. Bud's, I guess you're the owner.
I'm the owner.
You're the man. How long have you been here?
34 years, I guess.
34 years.
Yeah.
So, and you were the gas guy before gas
yes.
turned into KTM.
Back 2011, I believe. Yes.
So here's what I wanted to know. I was told it's pronounced RIEJU. But now not Mark. Who's the service manager now? The sales manager.
Bob.
Yeah, he told me something different. So how do you pronounce that?
Well, there's actually a pronunciation by one of the Spaniard guys. I think it was David Martinez who did it on I put it on my Facebook page. There's actually two different pronunciations.
Okay.
RIEJU is the one I was pronouncing it by, but he actually has another pronunciation too. And it apparently depends on what part of Spain you're in.
Okay.
How they pronounce it.
So what's the other one?
I don't know off the top of my head, to tell you the truth. I'd have to go back and look at it.
Oh, because I heard RIEJU,
yeah.
and then I've heard RIEJU and RIEJU,
Yeah.
but I always was told it was RIEJU, and then I was corrected, so I don't know.
Did you notice the two different pronunciations?
Yes. The northern side says RIEJU, the southern side says RIEJU, almost like with an A in it.
RIEJU?
Yeah, and RIEJU is the northern side.
So we're wrong too.
Yeah.
We like trying to push them both together and made them one.
It's a pretty common practice in the industry. It's not Husqvarna, it's Husqvarna.
Oh yeah, I know that. I know that.
It's not Suzuki. It's
But we can say Husky. What do you say here?
Yeah.
How do you shorten that? I don't know.
Right. How's that?
I say RIEJU. That's the way I say it.
I've been saying it RIEJU all the
So, do you know anything about the company?
They're about an 85-year-old company. in Spain. Okay, they've been around for a long time.
Were they Spain's largest producer domestically or not? I sort of heard something like that.
That could have been, yeah. I think they probably were. I mean,
But it was primarily small bikes.
it's probably small bikes, yeah. They do a lot of stuff that really don't interest a lot of Americans, you know.
Yeah.
But they wanted to get a foothold in more of an American product, and that's when they purchased the platform of the gas to put their name on it. So that was a major step. And Ford is, as a company, they seem to be a very conservative company, not a risk-taking company. And like I said, been around for a very long time. 85 years is more than most of the people in the industry is, okay? But they really have gotten their act together compared to all of the other, say, gas people who owned it in the past. This company seems to have the
Central Power Sports is a new distributor. Before that, it was somebody else, wasn't
that's
it?
Still Mark Bird is Central Power Sports, and he's still the guy who was there before. Mark always did parts through Go Fasters. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Way back.
All right.
And there were a couple of people who actually distributed the bikes, and Mark did the parts. Kind of an odd relationship, two different.
Okay. All right.
But now Mark took it over lock, stock, and barrel, doing both parts and bikes, and started moving forward. And then the company had some financial issues. Gas did, and then KTM come in and stepped in and purchased the name. KTM pretty much, I think, want to do a third brand with basically red plastic on another.
Right.
KTM.
Right.
But they really had KTM no interest in the platform bike. They had their own products going. They're just looking for a third line up, and the RIEJU people bought the platform of the bike, which was basically the old school gas. And Mark now had to change everything around and go to Central Power Sports distribution, and he's just moving to Texas right now and putting a new warehouse up.
Oh, he's moving to Texas
He's
now.
in the process. Yeah, the old warehouse is now closed up, and he's in Texas getting everything organized.
I didn't know, because Sherco's in Texas now too. They got moved over there.
There's a guy down there who took over all the Sherco products.
Yeah. So now Central Power Sports does RIEJU, and I had to get it right, and AJP from Portugal they just picked up, and SWM from Italy, which is the old Cagiva Husqvarna plant.
Husqvarna, yes, the redhead husky motors.
I love the history of all this crap.
And they also have the electric motion EM.
Oh, yeah, well, I don't really count electric bikes yet. Let's go see what I got. I'm excited.
No problem. I'm back. Get parts roll.
I was thinking of getting one of these when they were still gas. They were announced, but they never came in.
Okay, here's your bike.
Let me eyeball it. What's this?
Electric starter.
Oh, because I have an EC250, and this all looks the same, but I don't have that.
That's an electric starter and has a backup start system at the top of the Kickstarter.
Oh, let's look for that.
Kickstarter on this side, the old school. Still has both, which I actually like.
Yeah. Oh, here it is.
Yep.
And these are premix. There's no oil pump.
That's correct.
And what are you running?
32 to 1.
And what, like modal?
Basically, you found H1R, Bellray one's pretty damn good in it. There's quite a good oil companies out there.
Do they have a particular recommended one?
Nothing that I've noticed.
I don't really. Yeah. I just wonder, because I mean, Sherco says modal.
Yeah.
And some of them.
Well, you know.
And a lot of the newer ones, it's a particular synthetic that they're looking for.
There's a lot of good oil companies in the market. You know, basically stick with something, a good oil company. When it comes to a two-stroke oil with the power valve, you want a clean burning two-stroke oil. So something that has a synthetic.
Yeah. Okay.
At least
so it's the power valve. The power valve is what is why they run.
Yeah,
because in my old Bultacos, I don't run synthetic. I run.
Well, you
mineral.
don't need it because the power valve wouldn't come up.
But it doesn't burn as well.
Exactly right. Yep.
So I'm going to sit on it. So I'm 60.
You're 60. I'm 60 also. So.
And I got a 30-inch in. I don't want something too crazy.
Right.
Because I'm a little bit. You know what? I think that's even slightly lower than my cross trainer.
I think it's, honestly, I think there's a massive market for this bike. It hasn't been tapped yet. Very good potential.
So, what are the factory settings? Where are they in the middle of the range? Do you know where they're at?
The actual factory, I never checked the factory settings, but they generally put them in mid-range.
Oh, that's the choke.
No.
Oh, it's not hooked up.
So that says choke, but there's no choke.
No cable. It's got the old style plunger you pull up on the side of the carburetor.
Oh, okay.
So gas used to give you a choke that was hooked up by cable, all right, and give you a plunger in a bag. Well, they did away with the cable, never did away with that, and just.
So I could make a cable and put one on
easily.
Just change the lever off the plunger.
Style, yeah, go to the old style cable in place. You know.
And the other thing that's different, why I ordered a 2023 versus a 2024 is I have these settings for turns and horns.
That's going away for 2024.
And this is different.
Multi-switch, they call that. That switch kind of appeared, oh my God, years and years ago on a lot of product. That's not a new switch.
I've not seen that before.
Yeah.
So now this is all wired. I just got to add turns and a horn.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming it's a 6-volt horn.
Yeah. No, it'll be 12 volt.
It'll be 12 volt?
Yes.
I didn't figure.
System, 12
oh, because of the starter. Yeah, okay. All right.
System, yeah.
All right. I'm thinking of all those old magneto-driven things.
And you know, this had brake lights, so the brake lights are hooked up. The switches are there anyway. Okay, so you got a switch right there, and you got a switch on the foot.
So tell us a little bit about this particular model.
Well, the Ranger is designed actually for a lot of different people. The new rider coming into the market, a guy like yourself, you're saying you got a short inseam. An older guy, like we both are. We're both 60,
yeah.
So, I mean, it gets to the point, you still got a 300 cc motor, but it doesn't have the output because of the different head configuration.
But I mean, is the suspension different than what's on the...
The suspension's one.
What would that be, an MR 300 Pro? Is that... Yeah.
300 Racing has the full tilt KYB suspension. Where this is one suspension tuned down. Next model down is suspension. So suspension is still plenty good enough for just about any woods rider, even most racers. I mean, face it, these forks, only a few years ago, we were racing with.
Now on my Beta, the one side is almost a dummy. There's only a spring in one fork.
That's a different style fork.
This is a regular conventional setup.
Conventional setup, yes.
Well, are the brakes Nissan, AJP, or their own?
These are their own. These ones changed out. They used to be Nissan in the back. These went to the AJPs now.
See, my EC, it's a Honda.
Yep.
But I have an older one.
Yeah. Brake pads are the same as some of the rear pads were the same as some of the Yamahas, and I haven't checked the new Rangers yet to see what the pads interchange with.
And is that got a spark arrestor in it?
No spark arrestor, no.
No?
No.
Oh, there, it doesn't say anything. Do they make one?
Yes, there's a spark arrestor available for them.
Can we light it in here?
Okay.
Here, no, let me do it. We gotta light it up. Turn it the other way. It'll probably go dark. Pull it up a little bit more. Is that it here? So I'll need to choke it.
Yep. Maybe not. It's run. Just try it without the choke once.
I think it's on. I won't smoke up your place. Well, at least you got to hear it. Cool.
Electric start for dirt bikes.
I know. That us old guys have to have that.
All right, so before we go, I want to give you some first impressions. I've been riding this around a little bit. We're going to take it over to the farm where I grew up. When I first got it, there was a whole lot of oil. I thought maybe my countershaft sprocket was leaking, but it was just they really did have a whole lot of grease and goop, chain lube, and it sprayed over everything, including the back tire, but that was nothing. Cleaned it up. It's not the countershaft seal. The other thing I noticed is you have to turn the reserve on very quickly. It says this holds 2.6 gallons of gas. I had 2 gallons in, which takes us to about here. I think 2.6 is ambitious. The reserve comes on. There's just less than a gallon in it, and you will run out. It's a thirsty beast. My tire pressures came at 24 pounds each. I have them set at 14. This is in kilometers. I need to figure that out. Put that back to miles per hour. It looks like a battery hold down or something that isn't in. So let's go. So look at that, no safety switch in the clutch. Interesting. Huh. So one thing I will say after riding this around, it's basically got 3 speeds, 3 modes of transportation. On, off, and holy crap! That really goes. You got 6 speeds of that. That's going to be a lot of fun. There's my old house before we moved to Florida. Woohoo! Ain't seen any groundhogs yet. They usually come out after the rain. Into the spooky woods. Let me show you the view. On the other side of that holler is where I grew up. And then later, my old place before I moved to Florida is there. That's the pole building. You can see it way up there. That's the church. I can't say they were happy times back then. I was pretty miserable. And I didn't have a bike. It's funny, I look back at it now with fondness. But not then. There we got some deer. They don't know what to make of this. They're not usually scared. Oh, there's some more. Which way do you want to run? You don't know. Which way do I go? Which way do I go? Oh, that was smart. Run back. I figured they'd be out after the rain.